Welcome again to Kim's Bioproduction Academy. Today, let's understand about the femur. This is the femur bone. Yesterday, we discussed about the humerus. This is humerus. So the difference between these two, you can check about this head of the femur. You can check it's somehow broad, but this one is ball-like. So it's a ball-like, it's a protrusion, and you can check that. So that is the difference. The other one is too broad, but this one forms something, an extension or a protrusion like a bone. So we are saying this one is the femur. And the femur is found on our upper hind limb, upper section. So these are two bones. On the upper section is the femur. On the lower section is the tibia and fibula. So this broad one is the tibia. This one is damaged, but you can check about the size. It's small. This one is the fibula. This one is the tibia. The tibia is more larger and wider than what? The fibula. Then we are saying the upper section is what? The femur. Let's discuss about this femur. We are saying this one is the upper, these two are the lower. So on this femur, this one is the head of what? The head of the humerus. The head, not the head of the humerus, the head of the femur. The head of the femur. And the head of the femur articulates with the acetabulum. If you still remember about the bifurcator, there was a point which was called the acetabulum, and the acetabulum was the articulation point with the head of the femur to form a hip joint, and the hip joint is part of ball and socket joint, and this will allow rotatory movement. So it will be allowing what? Rotatory movement of this upper hind limb. From that point, you can check we have some protrusions here, and we have another protrusion on this lower section. So this upper protrusion, for this one, it was this one and this lower section, and on this, for the humerus, we spoke about trojanta, not trojanta, sorry, but this one is the trojanta, greater trojanta, and this one is the lesser trojanta. This was tuberosity, greater tuberosity, lesser tuberosity. Those are the difference. This tuberosity, this other one is our trojanta. So trojanta, greater, lesser trojanta. What's the role? It's an extension of a bone, so it's increasing surface area for attachment of muscles. Then this lengthwise is a shaft, and the role for the shaft, the same way to this one. We said it has a long shaft, and the role of the shaft was to do what? Increase surface area for muscle attachment. Then from this lower section, just the way that we spoke about this one yesterday, this section, so it's about these points, these protrusions. Those protrusions are called what? Condyle. It's the same way with that of the humerus. They're just condyles. And these condyles, then we have this inner section. That is what we are calling patellar groove. And within a patella, we have a gap which is called the patella itself. So it's the patellar groove. And this patella is for articulation with those what? Patella. And this will prevent overstretching of the leg. And you can check. So your leg will just move to this length. You can check a hinge point that will provide some prevent overstretching. So we are saying this inner section, this inner part, which is this section, is what I'm calling the patellar groove. The patellar what? Groove. Then I've said this prevents what? Overstretching. The patella will prevent what? Overstretching of the leg. It prevents overstretching of the leg that is at the knee joint. So I think we will be done with this bone. Let's go now to the tibia and the fibula. We're saying this one is the tibia and this one is the fibula. At this length, and even this other one, it has been dislocated. It's the same length, but this one is narrow, but this is wider. That is tibia, and this smaller one is fibula. So this length is still a shaft, and it will be increasing surface area for muscle attachment. Then from that point, you can check at this lower section. This lower part is what we are calling the distal epiphysis, the distal epiphysis, and this one will be articulating with the tarsals. We said at the wrist here we have the cabals, at the keel of our leg we have the tarsals. So this articulates that the distal epiphysis will articulate with what? Will articulate with the tarsal. That is the end of the femur, tibia, and fibula. So we're saying the upper part of the lower leg. This all forms the upper and the lower forelimb and the lower hind limb. So this one is the upper hind limb, the lower hind limb, and we have said the upper is what? Femur, the lower is the tibia and fibula. So the joint that will be formed at this upper section at the proximal end will be ball and socket joint. The joint that will be formed here at the knee will be known as the hinge joint, and the joint that will be formed at this lower section will be known as the gliding joint. Gliding joint. That is, gliding joint is that the distal epiphysis with that of the what? With that of the tarsals. Thank you very much.